Hello everyone, Basic Ollie here. Hope you're all doing well and welcome to the final round of this season's Manufacturer Series. Now, as you all know, or to people that are currently just joining for the first time, we are currently, unbelievably, still sat first for Mitsubishi in the EMEA, which is just incredible. Just look at that, guys. First place. I've never finished here before. So I'm going to just put my heart and soul into this effort for this race. Can we finish in P1, guys? Can we do it? Let's find out. So, round 10 then. We are going to be jumping all the way over to Japan in Suzuka. Obviously the famous track, the F1 track where Michael Schumacher and Ayrton Senna have raced many, many times before. But today, Basic Ollie is now going to try and produce something similar, if that's even possible, on GT Sport. But here we go. So we are in the Mitsubishi Evo, and you guys know that this car struggles when it comes to power tracks, and this is no exception. Literally, as soon as you go past the hairpin, you're just on the full throttle for, what, half the lap, apart from the chicane after 130R. It's just insane. The amount of time I lose, unbelievable. But it doesn't matter. The tactic is here. We've got to stay on the back of someone, and we've got to get the slipstream. So I've done one qualifying lap already. I'm going to jump on board with my second lap, which is even better. So we go through the first section here. Absolutely nailed that. I think we hit all the apexes, went through there nice and smooth, into third gear, up to fourth, flicking it over to the left-hand side, just touching the curb on every single corner here that I really can, just trying to maximise as much of the track as I possibly can, because we need to gain an advantage somewhere. We need to get something. So if I can just take the mic, and you can see we actually go purple in the first sector. So when it comes to not needing the power, and we've got the slipstream, we are fast, we are quick. We're one of the fastest guys in here. But you're going to see the demise of the Evo as soon as we get on the straight. So we're sticking with this pack really, really well here. Obviously, when you're following someone in qualifying, you do have the issue of you may catch up, and then, you know, it's game over, and then you have that awkward moment when you're trying to overtake someone, but you're both trying to do qualifying, so that you're both trying to set a lap time, no one wants to give up, and then someone goes for your awkward overtake, and it just goes bang, and it just doesn't work out. But so far, so good. Now, we've got past the hairpin that I talked about earlier. Now, this is where, really, you just lose so much time. So we've got this long kind of straight here, until we get this left section. This corner here is probably one of the hardest corners you can ever drive in a racing game. It's incredibly difficult to get right. It's just like a hidden apex. You really can't see it sometimes. But from here on out, it's just past 130, it's just flat out. And even in the slipstream, you can see, guys, the amount of speed I am losing is just insane. It really, really is. Anyways, look at that. So we're still, what was that, half a second or so, I believe? Or unless I'm completely blind. Up in the middle sector. And yeah, we just nailed the braking point here. You've got to be so careful of not cutting that first right-hander. The game will give you a penalty. You can see how much I gained on the guy in front of me there. Absolutely nailed the braking point, and we crossed the line. We actually set a 2:06.8, and let me tell you, that in an Evo is unreal. Like, I'm not trying to brag or anything, but that is by far one of my best qualifying performances around this track. I honestly, if any of you can beat that, you are a god, because I entered this race 5 times yesterday. 5 times I did this, and this is my last and final attempt, and this is my best qualifying position by far. So, let's get this race underway. Okay, so we're starting at P7, we've just gone past the last chicane, so we've gone past that awkward bit, we're not starting on the corner, which is good to see. So we managed to get the foot down, but as you can see on this track, the spatial, well, the gap between each car is not great. So you can see I've already lost quite a large chunk of time, and we need to be within 3/4 of a second of the car ahead. If we want this race to go well, if we want the strat to go well, we need to make sure throughout the whole race, basically, the massive advantage we have down the straights, we don't lose as much because we're in a slipstream of another car. Even if that means we don't overtake them, we need to stick with someone. So throughout this whole race, you're going to just see me desperately trying to cling on to the slipstream, and you're going to see just how important it is and how much of a difference it makes if you do not stick in that slipstream with this car. Through the corners, fantastic. Braking, unbelievable. Top end, non-existent. absolutely non-existent. Anyways, go for this right-hander here, just touching the inside of the curb, getting all four wheels over it, braking well after the cones, flicking it down into third gear, going all the way over to the right, accelerating out harshly. We've got that four-wheel drive system. We don't need to worry about the traction too much. We can just put our foot down, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Now the hairpin here, I thought it'd break a little bit early, so I did have a sneaky little move up the inside, but that was never going to work. This guy was too quick. Now, this is going to be a prime example of the difference in speed. So even though I'm in the slipstream, you can see how close I was before this replay angle. Now you're going to see the difference now we're outside the replay angle. You ready? There you go, look at that. So that's easy, just on that straight. That's a car width. The Italian behind us gives us a friendly little nudge, shall we say. But we miss, well, I don't say we miss, we absolutely nail the apex and the exit of that corner. Now we're right behind the Porsche here. Now the Porsche is quick. There's a very, very quick car. But top end wise, it's not the best. So we're able to stick with him here, which is good to see. We don't lose too much. Anyways, going through 130, I'm having to put the brakes on. You're in that dirty and you can't quite see the apex as well as you should. So you're just being very, very cautious. Now I stick to the right hand side to make sure the Italian doesn't go for a massive dive bomb, which by the way, at some point he does, so don't worry about it. And yeah, so we're on the back of the Porsche once more. We're about to start lap 2 now. So first lap over with pretty good. Look how close we are to that Porsche in the replay camera. Really, really love that camera. I thought it looked absolutely awesome. Again, going through this, well, it's a double right-hander, isn't it, really? I forgot what the name of the corner is, annoyingly. But we go through there again. Hitting the apex is absolutely lovely. No issues at all whatsoever. I am very cautious of the Italian behind me, the Audi TT. That car is so much quicker than Evo around here. Its exit speeds are just insane. So we must keep him behind us if we possibly, well, if we potentially can. Because that could be a game changer. Again, like I said, guys, we need to stick in the slipstream of the guys ahead of us. So far, though, so good. All was that the top 7 are all within 3 seconds, or top 8 within 3 seconds of the leader. So that's not too shabby. You can see the front 3 ahead of us there. They're all fighting front 4. So we just need to make sure we stick on the, you know, stick in the pack. And we need to make sure as well that Volkswagen Scirocco actually manages to keep up with him and keep in the slipstream, because we don't want a we don't want to split off. We don't want like 3 drivers battling out the front and then the rest of us kind of drop off. So I'm doing my absolute best as always, guys, because this is the last race of the series and I really want to end on a bang. But the track and car combination is an absolute killer. Honestly, this is worse than Monza. I know that sounds crazy, but this is worse than Monza. It feels, it's absolutely insane. Anyways, going through this left-hander once more with the what seems like impossible invisible apex. Again, we do quite well there. Evo's really, really good, keeping the traction down. In third gear there, we've got no issues. Again, on the back of the Porsche, going down this long straight, revving hell out of 4th gear, just trying to get the most out of the engine, whatever's in there, whatever brake horsepower is actually in the engine, I'm trying to get out of it. Anyways, through 130R, no issues whatsoever, nice and smooth, braking well after the cones, but you can see, yep, you can see our Italian friend there just completely barges away through. I thought, I ain't having that, son, and then I give him a taste of his own medicine. Now, normally I'm very restrained, and I'd like to think I'm a very, very clean driver, and I try and let those things go over my head, you know, not go over me, and I just forget about it and move on. But anyways, I decided to take him out. So those guys over here, you can see just how much time I've lost now, because I had to fight with that Italian dive bombing me. It cost me time, and I've dropped back. Anyways, Boo Boo Racing seems to be my knight in shining armour, so I prayed to the GT gods and they did produce me with someone to slipstream. So that, thankfully, I don't know how, kind of saved my bacon a little bit. He was a little bit slow through here. I'm not quite sure why he went off in the first place. I think it was just a mistake. But we skip ahead to lap 7. Now, I did plan to go in the pits with the other guys, but I thought, you know what? Whilst I'm following this guy, let's make the most of the slipstream. And that's exactly what I did. So we're going ahead to lap 8 now. Now I'm going to go in the pits. But this guy here behind me, he's just going to overtake me on this inside here. Now I backed out because this guy was incredibly quick. He's one of the fastest guys in this lobby. And again, I just thought to myself, just stick with him, Ollie. Just stick with the slipstream. Don't lose too much time. So that's what I did. So I tried to race smart, not hard. I stuck in the slipstream, and we're in the pits, and we are now going to put the soft tyres on. So for any of you guys that don't know what the strategy is for this race, mandatory tyres are the mediums and the hards. Okay, so we start on the softs. We're going to go on the softs again, and then for lap 17, lap 16, sorry, we're going to mediums, and at lap 17, for the last lap, we'll go onto the hard tyre. So we now come out in 10th place. Again, we've got to the South African here in the Hyundai. Again, one of the quickest drivers in the lobby, without a doubt. I'd ended this race many times, and he was very quick. He was one of the quickest, if not the quickest, in the lobby in that Hyundai. So he's just behind Booby Racing. Is featured on this channel quite a bit because he is one of the faster guys out there. He certainly is. This was a hard lobby, guys. There was a lot of quick people in it, and I was doing my absolute best. And surprisingly as well, there is actually another Evo in here. So again, objective is to try and beat the Evo because we are first in the manufacturer. So we've got to be the fastest one in the race, haven't we? We've got to be. It's the last one in the race. Anyways, going through here, you can see there's a little, I think there's a minor coming together. So the guy in the Hyundai had to back off a little bit, and that kind of just invites me to be a little bit closer to him, which is great to see. But tactic-wise, do I want to overtake him? Absolutely not. No way. He's a lot quicker than me, so all I want to do, my mindset here is if he overtakes this Honda NSX, I've got to follow him through. Because if he goes past, by the time I overtake the NSX, he'll have gone, and the slipstream's gone. Game over. I'm literally just in no man's land. I'm going nowhere. I've got no pace. I won't be able to catch anyone up. I'll just spend the rest of the race defending. Take the inside line there. Nice and easy. A little bit on the grass, but not too shabby. Accelerating halfway through the apex. Missing the curb of the outside there, but you can see how well we've done. Still right in the back of our Hyundai. Now he is going to take this NSX on the left-hand side, but there seems to be like an Audi TT. It looks like our Italian friend here has some sort of penalty that he's had to serve. So he's now dropped back, which is not a big shame, is it really? So I'm going to go for a big dive bomb here, but I'm just going to pause it here because I want you guys to tell me in the comments what you think of this. Okay, so I've gone for the move here. I'm well out of the way, and this South African guy just turns in on me, and they get hit behind. Then I hit that Honda NSX in front of me.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Yeah, honestly, guys, so frustrating. Ridiculous. I'm going to slow it down here. Again, look, I brake, so I go over to the right-hand side. He sees me, he reacts to it, and then he still decides to turn into the corner. He doesn't give me any room whatsoever, smashes me off, and then I'm just kind of in a sandwich between the NSX and the Italian behind me. And because there was so much contact, the game gave me a 1.5 second penalty, which around here, it's just honestly an absolute game changer. It's a killer. So we're trying to battle with the Italian here around this first corner. He gets himself past. Fair play, you know, no issues with that. He got the move done. Nothing I could do there. He was on the inside. It is what it is, I guess. But we've got to go through this section, Hal. Again, objective-wise, just stick with him. Just stick with him. Just try and do your best, Ollie, mate. You know. Don't worry about it too much. Don't get too angry, otherwise you just lose your head and you'll make silly mistakes, and that will make the situation even worse. So you can see through here, I was actually quite quick. I was all over the back of this Audi here, and surprisingly, I thought potentially could go for a move, but as soon as I kind of get out the slipstream and I try and go up the inside, the true speed of the Evo is shown, and unfortunately, it's not very good. So I really do suffer out of the corner there. Really nice exit. Get on the grass a little bit too much there. And it does cost me, lose a rear end ever so slightly, but it doesn't matter, we're still behind him. Potentially look for a move on the inside there, but I just about give him enough room, doesn't turn in too much. He makes the middle of the corner, lovely stuff, no issues. We carry on racing. That's what should have happened in the chicane on the last corner, but unfortunately, the chap in P7 didn't really want to play ball. But it doesn't matter, it is what it is, we'll just crack on. Anyways, braking on the, there's a little bit of pavement on the right hand side, concrete. That's where I'm braking, and again, I'm kind of just a little bit of throttle in fourth gear, braking down the third, all the way to left-hand side, then I start powering out as soon as I possibly can. But yeah, we're going to serve this penalty now, so we're in P9, this is going to drop us down to P10, and yeah, thankfully, no other positions, but yeah, bit of a disaster. Anyway, skipping ahead, you can see P10 went in there, so that promoted me up a little bit, and that puts me up. And then we skip ahead to lap 14, there's another guy in the pits, now up to P6 with the Brit and the Jag just ever so slightly behind us. Now, I wasn't umming and ahhing whether I should let him go or not, because again, he was quicker, so I'm going to show you exactly what I did. So we got up to the hairpin here. Now, I did indicate him to earlier that you can go past, so I went over to the right-hand side, made my intentions clear. I let him pass. I wanted a good exit. I knew he was going to outpower me down the straight anyways, and as soon as he goes past, he puts his hazards on and says, thank you very much. That's how it should be done. You know, work smart, not hard. That's exactly what you should do in these races. So, lap 16 now. We're on the end of this race, basically. We're at the end of the road, basically, of this race. We only got a few laps left. So we go in, we pit, we're on our mediums, we're now into P11. So, yeah, you can see the disastrous effect of that penalty of how much to have and missing the slipstream. It's just been a disaster. But anyways, we go into the pits now. End of lap 17. We're going to put the hard tyres on now. So this is our last and final stop. The pit stop crew there doing an amazing job. Super, super quick. Red Bull, eat your heart out. So we go out here, but I'm just going to stay on board for the whole of this lap now. Now we've got the hard tyres on, and they are utterly, utterly rubbish. But everyone else is going to be in the same boat. So now we've got a battle here to kind of prove to myself why I should be first for Mitsubishi in EMEA. I cannot let someone else in a Mitsubishi in the final race of the season, when I need points to finish first for Mitsubishi, beat me in a race. That is not going to happen. So I put my head down and I was concentrating like mad, trying to nail the apexes. Again, you see how much I was revving out third gear, just trying to get every ounce of speed that this thing had left in it. Because this is going to be the last race for Mitsubishi, guys. There's no going back. This is the last race that I'm going to have in this Evo. And I've just got to give it back to the manufacturer. That's it. Game over. So we go through that corner nice and easy. No issues whatsoever. Going up to the hairpin now. You can see the cones on the right, but completely normal. Completely normal. Brake much, much later. Trying to get a nice smooth exit. Now, I did think to myself once or twice, should I be in first gear as I exit that corner? But literally, you have to change gear as soon as you tap the throttle anyways. So it really doesn't make too much of a difference. And thanks to the traction of the Evo, no issues whatsoever. We can be in first or second, but for me, preferably second. Anyways, braking on the concrete on the right hand side. This guy just goes slightly wide there, gets some understeer. Now you see these two guys up ahead. They start arguing, and someone's got a 1 second penalty there. That is very, very tasty indeed. And they're just constantly hitting each other as they go up the hill. Now we have the world's slowest drag race. We've got two Evos fighting to try and be the first car through 130R. Amazingly, I managed to get past this chap here. So we've got up here, and you can see there's 3 people in front of us now. So something's gone with Helmstock. So I'm going to go flying past him here, just stuck behind a Corvette. And we've got the Audi TT, the Italian, that's been a pain in our buttocks since the start of the race. He's going to finish P8, but he has got a second penalty. So that means we're going to finish this race in P9. A hell of a result, guys. Hell of a result. And honestly, at P10, like a top 10 in this car, you can't beat it. For this track and combination, we've done ever so well. But the question is, guys, have we done enough? Are we now first place? Are we going to finish there? I can't wait to see it. Are we actually going to be there? Yes. Yes, we are. I cannot believe it. 10 weeks I've been grinding Mitsubishi, and we've done it. And I really hope you guys enjoyed this journey. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe if you are new around here, and I'll catch you for the next series. Alright, take care, have a lovely one. Ta-ra.